Hello everyone, and welcome back to another ArmA 3 video. I've been doing the mod list videos for a while now, and in an effort to not repeat myself or run out of mods to review, I've decided to crunch it down to a comfortable 10 mods a month. This allows me to go into more detail on the mods and not feel like I'm cramming too much or too little information. This number, like all things, is subject to change depending on how the workshop is doing that particular month and how much free time I have. These mods can and will cover everything from ground-based warfare, naval assets, equipment, weapons, quality of life improvements, aircraft, and even terrains. Anything and everything goes with this list. So buckle up and let's get into this month's top 10 mods. At number 10 is a rather crude but effective mod, the Stealth AC-130 by Warhead. If, for some reason, you were searching for an AC-130 type of aircraft and either aren't patient enough to wait for the USAF mod AC-130, or you just can't fly that huge-ass V-44 Blackfish, then this mod is for you. It hilariously adds AC-130 light capabilities to a UCAV Sentinel. As funny as it sounds, it's actually a lot of fun to use and a lot more user-friendly than relying on the V-44 to hold position over an AO for any amount of time while actually looking at where you're trying to shoot without using heavy scripts. The weapons available are an L60 Bofors 40mm cannon with both armor-piercing, fin-stabilized discarding saber rounds and high-explosive rounds. A GAL-12 U 20mm Vulcan cannon with 4,000 rounds of high-explosive ammunition, and of course the M102 105mm cannon with both armor-piercing and high-explosive rounds. It's not realistic by any means, but it's still fun to mess around with if you have a few buddies needing some crazy close air support. At number 9 is Bullet Hits by, well, this guy. This mod takes the already existing Blast Corps bullet impact effects and ramps it up a bit. The guy claims it looks a lot more like Squad's bullet impacts, but honestly it just looks more like a beefed up Blast Corps effect. Regardless, it still adds a little bit more layer to your firefights and even to higher caliber weapons like cannons. As far as I can tell, there's no significant hit on performance, but like with any particle effect mod, too much of a good thing is a bad thing for the server. At number 8 is the Coast Guard HH-60 Jawhawk by Zales T. I'm not sure if he was the mod creator or just a re-uploader, as there isn't any information about the aircraft in the mod itself, but I still appreciate the upload nonetheless. The Jawhawk is the Coast Guard modified HH-60 designed specifically for maritime rescue operations as well as law enforcement. This helo in ArmA doesn't boast anything super out of the ordinary for helicopters, but it's a beautiful bird and could definitely be put to use in RP servers or even ArmA Life servers should they have some kind of maritime rescue operation. Every time the Jawhawk has appeared in my videos, I receive a flood of questions about it. So at last, here it is in all its glory, just for you. At number 7 is the ArmaModFrance by ArmaModFrance team. Now, I'll be the first to admit I'm not the biggest fan of the French, but they do make some incredible military hardware. Having been deployed to a joint airbase where French Mirage 2000s were screaming down the runway with our F-16s, I can personally attest to their righteousness. Those big engines scream, and I kinda fell in love. I've always had a thing for the Dassault Rafale. It's gotta be the sexiest French fighter to ever exist. The model in this mod isn't horrible, but it's also the only one in ArmA that I've seen ported in. Hard to find tanks like the AMX-10 and the AMX-56 are also present, and modeled decently well with a dirty, worn textured look. It's also rocking a beautiful H225M carousel. Now I'm not a French aviation buff, but this is a good looking aircraft. Oddly, it's textured a lot harder than the rest of the assets in this pack, so this is the standout aircraft. If you're trying to get your hands on hard to find French hardware, then this mod is for you. At number 6 is a really interesting find, the Alternate Universe Shikra by Anthrax. This mod brings a Shikra to the NATO forces and is given the designation F201 Sparrowhawk. It's literally just a reskin of the Shikra in the same livery of the FA-181, but it also comes with the ability to rock every NATO air-to-air and air-to-ground weapon, as well as some modded ones like Firewheels and RHS. I'm not a huge fan of the CSAT equipment, but I do kinda have a crush on the Shikra. It's a really interesting blend of an Su-27 and stealth that looks like it would have been a natural step in its progression. If you're a fan yourself, don't miss out on this one. At number 5 is Anzac SAS Stevens' Napalm and White Phosphorous mod. Added to the already insane arsenal of aerial weapons is the Mark 77 Napalm canister and a White Phosphorous rocket marker. The Mark 77s launch and fall just like any other dumb bomb and explode in a beautiful display of death and hatred. The White Phosphorous rockets are slow to fire and act more like markers for other aircraft to come in and destroy enemy positions. It's simple and effective. Everyone loves the smell of napalm in the morning. At number 4 is the Military Aviation mod by Saab. This mod has been around and growing for quite some time, even going through a complete rebuild of the aircraft and textures, which I believe he is still working on. This mod adds a lot of hard-to-find niche aircraft from all over the world and multiple service branches. Popular aircraft include the F-104 Starfighter, which just absolutely screams endgame, and true to life is immensely hard to control at speed. Other aircraft include the T-45 Jawhawk, both the trainer version and light attack version with weapons pylons. The E-2 Hawkeye, which rounds out the Navy AWACS need for you radar jocks out there, as well as multiple early to late European Cold War era fighter aircraft. The Seppicat Jaguar has always been a favorite of mine. As mentioned previously, the skins are still being worked on, as well as the cockpit interiors and weapons. Right now, they're pretty bare bones, as I believe Saab is focusing on his naval warfare mod. Modding takes a lot of time, and these guys do a lot of their work for free, so have patience. I'm pretty excited to see how these aircraft turn out in their final forms. At number 3 is the USAF HH-60G PAVEHAWK by Raj. I'm pretty partial with this aircraft, as this is the one I deployed with and worked on with aircraft maintenance to keep them operational. If anyone knows what the term green-feeted means, a pair of my feet are still on one of the 33rd Rescue Squadron's equipment containers at Kadena Air Base. This helicopter is amazing and has saved the lives of many critically endangered pilots, special forces, and civilians throughout its service life. This mod is a solid homage to that legacy and keeps getting better. The developer has plans for further improvements such as a GAU-17 minigun, an Army variant, no doubt from the 160th SOAR flyers, and a custom flight model. Currently, people have commented at the robust feel and handling of the aircraft, stating it doesn't handle well. I'd remind folks that the ArmA's base helicopter flight model is not true to life, and we've all gotten used to handling helos like go-karts in the air. They are large, heavy machines that aren't all as nimble as the Little Bird. This HH-60 has working doors, a fries bar, and cockpit that, as far as I can tell, looked exactly like the ones that I sat in 2016. With a little bit more development work and love, this mod will be amazing. It's already worth your download, so head over to Raj's page and grab it. Link is in the description below. At number 2 is MO Pilot Gear Suite by 556 Mo. You guys know me, you know I'm an aircraft and aviation buff, so this mod sings to me. The 3D modeling of the oxygen masks and helmets is outstanding, as well as the texture work done on the G-suit and harnesses. This mod is a labor of love, and will soon include other oxygen masks such as the MBU-20, and hopefully the dev's rendition of a J-HEMIX. I would kill for a high-fidelity helmet-mounted queuing system. Not that Firewheels is bad by any means, but variety is the spice of life. I'm really looking forward to how far Mo takes this mod. He seems to be an aviation nut, so he's good in my book. And finally, at number 1 is a phenomenal little terrain called Laghisola by Eagle. I'm not entirely sure if I pronounced that right. This is a functional tropical island map with an airbase and multiple military compounds, as well as a port. What's not to love? The thing that stood out to me the most was the lighting. It is gorgeous. According to the dev, after I posed the question, he revealed he used Stratus's skybox with Tanoa and Livonia lighting config. This makes for an absolutely gorgeous view from the air, especially over the water. I was honestly floored when I was getting footage in the first flight I took in this terrain. The airbase is there. It's not perfect, but it does the job. The AI, unfortunately, is not scripted to use it. That's normally a huge negative in my book, but The great qualities of this terrain overshadow it. The frame rates are outstanding, clocking in at a solid 80 plus constant FPS, even with a good amount of assets in the game world. The island is heavily forested using Tanoa foliage and plant life, but it's not so much that it kills your performance. It's a happy medium. The compounds spread around the map are detailed and functional, allowing for multiple standoffs between AI or other players. Of course, with this map being an island, means you can deliver thousands of pounds of freedom from offshore the way the pros do it. Should your compounds be overrun, simply take off from your carrier and eliminate the problem. I will definitely be keeping my eye on this train's development. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for spending your time with me today. I'd like to give a special shout out to my loyal patrons whose donations are greatly appreciated. You guys keep me going and I love you for it. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and maybe even hop into my Discord and come shoot the shit with me or share a screenshot or two. The link is down below. If you really love my content, consider becoming a patron to help support my work. I primarily make ARMA 3 content and would love your guys' suggestions in the comments section below. I do my best to read and reply to all your guys' comments, and your messages and kudos are a huge factor that drives the channel in the direction it's going. Thank you all so much again for watching, and I will see you in the next video.